In a colorful little town filled with noisy cars and tall trees lived a curious boy named Larry Page. A boy whose eyes sparkled every time he saw a machine, a computer, or anything that moved with wires, buttons, or blinking lights. While other kids played with toy soldiers and action figures, Larry collected broken gadgets from the neighborhood like a tiny inventor in training. In this cartoon world, Larry was always surrounded by floating question marks, buzzing ideas, and bright light bulbs that blinked above his head every time inspiration struck. His parents, both computer scientists, filled the house with old keyboards, circuit boards, and thick science books, and young Larry treated them like treasure maps. One sunny afternoon cartoon, Larry sat on his bedroom floor, surrounded by screws and wires. He stared at a loud old computer that kept freezing and said with determination, "There must be a better way to make machines think faster." His voice echoed with excitement because in his imagination, he could see tiny cartoon robots inside the computer running around, trying to organize information and failing miserably. One robot bumped into another puff of smoke. Everywhere Larry laughed and said, "Don't worry, little guys, one day I'll fix this." As he grew older, Larry's imagination only got bigger. He became the kind of teenager who asked strange but brilliant questions, things like what if computers understood everything on the internet? Or what if the whole world's information could be organized so simply that even a kid could find anything in seconds? People often smiled, thinking it was just childlike imagination, but Larry wasn't joking. He had the kind of mind that saw the future in pictures, bright, colorful visions, like scenes in an animated movie. Years later, cartoon Larry joined Stanford University, a place filled with giant libraries, huge chalkboards, and students walking around with coffee cups bigger than their heads. But even here, Larry stood out. His backpack was heavier than everyone else's because it was filled with notebooks where he sketched weird diagrams, ideas, and machines that didn't yet exist. One night when everyone was sleeping, Stanford turned into a glowing cartoon world. Larry stayed up working on a big idea. He imagined the entire internet as a giant, colorful web where every page was a little character holding hands with other pages. Some pages were loud, some quiet, some helpful, some confusing. Larry thought, if these pages are connected in real life, then why can't a computer understand those connections? The moment this idea hit him, the light bulbs above his head spun like fireworks. He shared his idea with a brilliant classmate, Sergey Brin. In the cartoon world, Sergey appeared like an energetic character, zooming in on a skateboard, excited about everything Larry told him. Together, they felt like two superheroes discovering their special powers. Larry said, "Imagine a search engine that doesn't just look for words, but understands which pages are important." Sergey replied, "Like giving each page a score based on how many other pages point to it." "Exactly!" Larry shouted, and their voices echoed across the campus. Together they built the earliest version of Google in a tiny cartoon dorm room. The desks were messy cables like noodles, papers flying around, and coffee cups with little smiley faces drawn on them. At night, when they coded, glowing letters danced from their screens, lighting up their entire room. The search engines they created didn't just find information. It organized the world's knowledge in a clean, simple way, like a magical map. The cartoon internet with thousands of chaotic characters suddenly became organized, peaceful, and happy. But success didn't come easy. At first, everyone thought their idea was too big, too crazy, too impossible. But Cartoon Larry never gave up. He would say with a calm, confident smile, "The world becomes better when someone is brave enough to imagine it first." Their search engine slowly grew, then exploded across the world. After a while, Google wasn't just a project, it became a powerful cartoon giant that helped people everywhere find answers, learn new things, and understand their world. Larry Page became known as the quiet genius behind one of the world's biggest ideas. But even after reaching unbelievable success, he stayed humble like a simple animated character who still loved gadgets, robots, and the joy of building things. He believed in dreaming, big dreaming, weird dreaming, different. He encouraged people to follow moonshot ideas, the kind of ideas that sound impossible but change the world when they work. In our cartoon story, these moonshot ideas look like giant rockets shooting out of his imagination with stars swirling around them. Larry always said, always work on something that sounds crazy because those are the ideas that shape the future. Even after becoming a billionaire, he still acted like the curious little boy who wanted to fix a noisy computer. He built flying cars, AI projects, robots, and inventions that looked like they came straight out of a sci-fi animated film. The lesson of cartoon Larry Page is simple but powerful. Your imagination is your greatest tool. Your big dreams are not silly. They are seeds of something extraordinary. When people call your idea impossible, smile like Larry and think, good, that means on the right path. The world needs people who see the future before it arrives, people who draw strange diagrams, people who ask weird questions, people who are not afraid to dream larger than life. Larry Page didn't create Google because he was born lucky or rich. He built it because he dared to imagine a better world. And he worked on that imagination every day until it became real. So whenever you feel discouraged, remember the cartoon boy surrounded by broken gadgets who believed he could build something big. Remember the teenager who saw the entire internet as a colorful map. Remember the young inventor who turned pictures in his mind into one of the greatest creations in history. And remember this: your dreams are not small, you just haven't stepped into them yet. Your future starts when you dare to imagine something impossible.